Kate had never told you about the document.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the questions for cell differentiation. So number 1 says, what does differentiation mean? Okay, so what do you think that means?
Variety.
A variety. It says it in the name of it. It means that they're what?
Different.
Different. So that's how cells become different. That's cells being a muscle cell or a skin cell or a bone cell. They're not all the same. They have genes that are activated in them that cause them to be different cells. So it's just a variety of cells. They're specialized. And sometimes you'll see them use those two terms interchangeably, specialized cells or differentiated cells. It all means the same thing. All right, number 2 says, what is a fertilized egg called? Does anybody remember the name of it? Zygote. Before it's a zygote, you have a sperm and egg cell. Those are gametes. And when they are fertilized, then it becomes a zygote. All right, number 3, what's special about stem cells? Why are they important? What's special about them?
They have potential.
They have potential to what?
Be
anything. So stem cells are undifferentiated cells. So it's not differentiated, it's undifferentiated, which means it can become anything. All right, number 4, how do stem cells differentiate? Remember what they said in the video?
They could come in contact with,
Yeah, they can come in contact with other cells that are around them. So if you, let's see, if you have a nerve cell and you have another nerve cell, and let's say that it was damaged here, okay, so this would be like in your spinal cord, okay? If you had a damaged cell right here, then you've got some problems because you can't relay the message along the neurons. Okay, if you put a stem cell in there, then it activates genes where it's touching these other cells that it's around it, and then it's going to become a nerve cell. So it will become another nerve cell because it activates the genes in there. That's why stem cells are important. They can pretty much cure or fix anything. So they're a pretty big deal. All right, 5. Where can stem cells be located?
spine,
They can be in your spine, skin,
heart,
Anywhere.
bones, heart,
itself.
bone marrow,
Organs.
organs.
We have to list the whole organ, or can we just put anywhere?
You can put like
Itself.
you can put within the body, but there's 2 kinds basically. There's somatic and embryonic. Those are the 2 main kinds. There are multiple other kinds, but those are 2 main kinds. Somatic comes from within the body, and then embryonic comes from within an embryo. One place that there are a lot of stem cells located are in the umbilical cord. So after you have a baby, they cut the umbilical cord. With my kids, I banked their cord blood. So basically they just withdrew the blood from the umbilical cord and put it in a blood bank. They froze it, so it's cryogenetically frozen. And I did that because my dad has MS. So I thought if one day the United States allows us to use stem cells to treat stuff, they could use my kid's stem cells to treat his MS. So, but they burn umbilical cords after you have a baby, so they
That sounds like they
incinerate
would
it.
smell.
In some
Yeah.
countries, they ask the parents if they want to eat the umbilical cord
Yeah.
beforehand.
So, anyway, that's just wasted stem cells right there that they can be using for research. They do have some places that you can donate it to medical research facilities to use the stem cells. So, It's not like you have to kill a baby to get stem cells. You can.
That
That's
is frowned upon.
that is one of the arguments that people use is you have to kill a baby. I donated. Lachlan was an in vitro baby, so he was a little science experiment. But so I had a bunch of eggs that were fertilized, and Lachlan took. So I had a bunch that were left over. We could have saved them, but it's expensive to save them. So I actually ended up donating the embryos to medical research. And it's not to the point to where it's like got a heartbeat or a face or anything like that. It's the blastocyst stage that they use. So basically, it's just a wad of cells that's got some stem cells in the center of it. So there are ways to get stem cells without killing a baby. But that's one of the big arguments that they use in the United States. If my dad could afford to go to China or Germany or some of those other countries, he could be cured of his MS. They just basically inject stem cells into his spinal cord. So there's a lot of research out there. It does a lot of good. Why would the United States not want to do that?
Because we are weird and we have laws.
Apparently the United States don't.
What basically runs our government? There's like 3 big things that run our government.
Money,
Greed.
Insurance.
People.
yeah.
What 3 main like companies?
Monster.
No.
Bill Gates.
Okay, or let's say like areas. So we have big oil,
Oh yeah, oil,
Big
crops.
Farm.
pharmacies, and then we have big food companies. Those are the 3 main
Sound like
things
big
that
farm.
drive everything in the United States. So
Disney not owns Family
guys,
Guy.
shh. So if they're not making money off of people taking treatments, like one of the treatments for my dad is a shot. It's $1,000 a shot. He's actually stopped doing that, and it's once a week. But there are a lot of people that do that. So if they can cure that with stem cells, then you're losing money by people being sick.
Makes sense.
That is so
Okay.
much
It's-
money.
It's sad.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, what number are we on?
6.
6. What is a somatic stem cell? So those are ones that are within the body. What's number 7 say?
Dang, Hayden.
What is a multi-point stem cell?
What is a multipotent stem cell? That just can become many types of cells. It can't become as much as embryonic stem cells, but it can still become a lot of different kind of cells. It can become a bunch of different types of cells, not as much as an embryonic. 8. What are ethical issues surrounding stem cells? The main thing that they bring up is it's embryos. I don't really know of any other ones. And then 9. What is an embryo?
It's like a in-between
Like
lot.
halfway baby.
Yeah, it's not to a fetus stage yet, so it can range from like the first part of fertilization up to about 8 weeks. Usually when they're using stem cells, like I said with Lachlan stuff, it was in the blastocyst stage, so that's still an embryo. It's basically just a bunch of dividing cells that's eventually going to become a baby. Is the last one about pluripotent
Yeah.
Yep.
stem cells? Okay, so those are just usually from somatic stem cells. They're called like a master cell, so they can just become a bunch of different things.
What's number 8?
It's a group of cells.